A 1 billion parameter model just decided it can't do math, and instead of guessing, it called a calculator on its own. No cloud, no GPU, just a CPU and a model that's barely 1 gig in size. So here's the thing. For the last 2 years, every time a small model dropped, the story was the same. Impressive benchmarks, you try it yourself, and then disappointment. You'd ask a question, it would make stuff up, and you'd close the tab and go back to the big models. Now, there are plenty of small models out there. Phi, Quen, Gemma, they all support tool calling. But most of them still try to answer everything from memory first. They guess, they hallucinate, they pretend they know. But something different is happening now. What if a small model didn't try to know everything? What if instead it just knew when it doesn't know something and called the right tool to get the answer? So the difference isn't tool calling, it's restraint. That's what Karpathy calls a cognitive core. And this model, MiniCPM 51B from OpenBMB, fits that idea perfectly. Today, I'm going to install this on my laptop. 16 gigs of RAM, no GPU. I'm going to test it, break it, build two real use cases with it, and show you exactly what a 1 billion parameter model can and cannot do right now. And I think by the end of this, you'll see why the future of AI isn't one giant model in the cloud. It's tiny local models that know who to ask. And by the way, if you want to keep up with open source AI releases and tools like this, subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Thank you in advance. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's get this running. I'm using LM Studio, which is free and probably the easiest way to run local models. If you don't have it, link is in the description. Open LM Studio, hit the search bar and type MiniCPM 51B Agentic Tool Use. Now the original model is from OpenBMB, the Tsinghua NLP Research Lab. They released MiniCPM 51B as the base model with an Apache 2 license. But I'm actually using a community fine-tuned version called MiniCPM 51B Agentic Tool Use. Someone took that base model and fine-tuned it specifically for tool calling using Clara. And that's the beauty of open source, right? OpenBMB releases the foundation. The community builds on top of it. The base model is smart. This fine tune makes it useful for what we want to do today. We will go with Q8 quantization, which is the highest quality. And look at this. The entire model is just 1.15 gigs. That's smaller than most apps on your phone. Hit download. On my connection, this took about a minute. While that's downloading, let me tell you what makes the base model interesting. It's a 1 billion parameter dense model built on the llama architecture. It supports up to 128,000 context length, which is honestly wild for a model this size. And it's fully open, commercial use, do whatever you want with it. Now the model is downloaded. Click load. Now one more thing before we test it. Go to the developer tab and start the local server. This gives us an API at localhost 1234 that we can call from Python scripts. We're going to need this for the use cases later. Alright, the model is loaded, the server is running. Let's see what this thing can actually do. So first, let's just chat with it. I'm going to ask it a simple math question. What is 347 times 892? And watch what happens. The model starts thinking. It thought for over a minute and then said, I'm not able to manually solve complex multiplications like this because it involves a very large number of digits and is beyond my current capabilities. Now, if this was any other small model, that would be the end of the video. A 1 billion parameter model that can't multiply two numbers. Close the tab, move on. But here's where it gets interesting. This model wasn't designed to do the math itself. It was designed to know that it can't do the math and call a tool instead. So let's give it a tool. I wrote a simple Python script. It connects to the local API, sends the same question, but this time it also tells the model, hey, you have a calculator tool available. Same question. What is 347 times 892? And look at the response. The model didn't try to answer. It generated a tool call. Calculator, expression, 347 times 892. It picked the right tool, formatted the right arguments, and handed it off. Our script catches that, runs the calculation, and the answer is 309,524. And if you look at the LM Studio logs here, you can actually see what happened under the hood. Start to generate a tool call. Tool name generated, calculator. 220 prompt tokens in, 188 out, about 6.5 tokens per second on pure CPU. Pretty cool, right? So the model doesn't know the answer, but it knows it doesn't know, and it calls the right tool instead. That right there, that's the whole cognitive core idea playing out in real time. Okay, so now let's actually build something with this, because a single tool call is nice, but I want to see how far we can push it. First thing I built is what I'm calling a smart CLI assistant. And the idea is dead simple. You type what you want in plain English, the model figures out the right terminal command, tells you what it does, and waits for your permission before running anything. So I type in show me my disk space, and honestly, it refused. It straight up said I don't have access to your file system, which, okay, fair enough. So I went back and made the system prompt way more direct. Like, you must always use the tool, don't answer me directly, just give me the command. Tried again. And this time it did use the tool, which is progress, but it gave me a Linux command on a Windows machine. Classic. And look, this is the thing about working with a 1B model. You can't just be casual with your prompts the way you would with GPT or Claude. You have to spell things out. And honestly, that's not really a flaw. It's just what 1 billion parameters looks like. You have to meet the model halfway. So okay, I updated the prompt again, told it you're running on Windows PowerShell, use Windows commands. And when I got specific and said use run command to execute WMIC logical disk get caption free space size, it absolutely nailed it. Perfect tool call. And I got back real data from my actual machine. C drive 474 gigs free. E drive 618 gigs free. Then I tried system info, worked perfectly. Task list, same thing. Every running process on my machine right there in the terminal. So the takeaway here is pretty clear. The routing works. This model knows how to pick the right tool and format the arguments. What it doesn't know is Windows commands. And you know what? That's actually fine, because the intelligence here is in the routing, not the knowledge. You can always fix a knowledge gap with a better prompt or a list of commands. But that routing layer, knowing when to call a tool and which one to call, that's the hard part. And this tiny model can do it. Alright, so second use case, and this is the one I was most excited to try. Meeting notes to action items. And I think everyone watching this has been in that situation where you come out of a stand up and you've got this messy paragraph of notes and nobody wants to go through it. So what I did is I gave the model two tools. One called create action item that takes a task, an assignee, a deadline, and a priority, and then a calculator for any budget math that comes up. And I fed it this really messy paragraph. John's API migration is behind, needs to be done by Friday. Maria's reviewing the Q3 budget and we're over by 15% on $50,000. Raj has a client demo Monday, that's high priority. And Sarah needs to update the docs by end of week, low priority. Just a wall of text, right? And the model came back with 4 separate tool calls in a single response. 4. From a 1B model running on CPU. John, API migration, Friday, July 11th, high priority. Maria, budget review. Raj, client demo, Monday, July 14th, high priority. Sarah, documentation, end of week, low priority. 4 out of 4. I was genuinely surprised. Now, was it perfect? I mean, no. Maria's deadline field got mixed up. It put the budget information in there instead of an actual date. And it never called the calculator to work out what 15% of 50,000 is. So, yeah, real limitations. But just step back for a second and think about what actually happened here. A model that fits in 1 gig read a messy paragraph, pulled out 4 people, 4 tasks, figured out who owns what, assigned deadlines and priority levels, and structured all of it into clean tool calls. On a laptop, no internet. Your meeting notes never left your machine. And now imagine this running at a company. Every stand up, every client call, every brainstorm. Notes go in, clean action items come out. No cloud subscription, no API costs, no data leaving the building. That's not a toy demo anymore. That's an actual workflow someone could use tomorrow. So now you've seen it work. A 1B model doing tool calls, routing tasks, pulling structured data out of messy text. And the question you're probably asking is, like, how is a model this small doing things that models 10 times its size couldn't do a year ago? There are three things that make this model different, and I think they're worth understanding. First one is the training data. And this is unusual because OpenBMB actually released everything. The pre-training data, the fine-tuning data, all of it is public. That almost never happens in this space. They used 400 billion tokens of supervised fine-tuning data. And here's what's clever about it. Half of that was what they call deep thinking data, where the model learns to reason through problems step by step. And the other half was hybrid thinking, where it basically learns when to think deeply and when to just give you a quick answer. And that balance is really important because it's why the model doesn't get stuck in those endless thinking loops that you see with a lot of small reasoning models. Well, most of the time anyway. Second thing, and this is the one that I think is the real secret sauce, is something called on-policy distillation. So what they did is they took these specialized teacher models, one that's really good at math, one that's really good at code, one that handles question answering well, and instead of trying to cram all of that knowledge into 1 billion parameters, which would never work, they distilled just the decision making ability back into this tiny model. And the results kind of speak for themselves. Average scores went up by 16 points, while overly long responses dropped by 29%. So it literally got smarter and shorter at the same time. That's a hard thing to pull off. And the third thing, and honestly, this is the one that impressed me the most, is that this model actually knows when it doesn't know something. And there's a benchmark for this called AA omniscience. The way it works is if you make something up, you score negative. If you just say, I don't know, you score 0. And most small models out there score around negative 40. They just make stuff up constantly. This model, negative 1, almost 0. It barely hallucinates at all. And you literally saw that in our demo earlier. When I asked it to multiply 347 times 892 without giving it a calculator, it didn't guess. It didn't make up a wrong number. It just said, I can't do this. And that restraint, that self-awareness, that's what makes the whole tool calling thing possible. Because think about it, a model that doesn't know what it doesn't know is just going to make up an answer and move on. But a model that does know is going to reach for a tool instead. And that's exactly what we saw. So yeah, that's really the whole cognitive core idea when you boil it down. Don't try to memorize everything, know what you don't know, and call the right tool when you need help. And I think that's honestly where local AI is heading. Not bigger and bigger models that need expensive GPUs, but smaller, smarter models that do one thing really well. They route decisions, they call the right tools, and they stay out of the way. Your phone, your laptop, even devices that have never had any kind of intelligence before, they don't need a 70 billion parameter brain sitting inside them. They just need a tiny one that knows when to raise its hand and ask for help. Think about where we were just a year ago. Small models that couldn't stop hallucinating. And now we've got a 1 billion parameter model that says, I don't know, and picks up the right tool instead. That's real progress. And honestly, I think we're just getting started. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.